Welcome to another live trading session. The market is open now, okay? So we sold off from overall highs of 800. It's gonna be excited for me to see if we're gonna break below 500 again and then target 21,000, but I don't think so. It's not what I think or what I hope. We're just reacting to the price, okay? So DAX that we've been looking at also went up. This is based on hope. This is based on many things, right? So we didn't manage to break above 500. We really pushed up. Break below 24,000 for DAX would, for me personally, trigger a short. Okay, and I'm gonna target at least 4, 5, 6 times R. Okay, so I'm setting up a pretty big position for shorting DAX. If we break below, I've been looking at shorting DAX for a long time now. Be aware that this could also be fake out, so be aware of the risk. We will scale into position and we can start adding more to it once we get final confirmation and we start selling off. Okay, so be aware of, if you're shorting here, that it could push back. If Nasdaq choose to go back, then DAX will follow through. I'm just getting myself ready for a light short position. I'm considering taking a short position here at 90 because we have a break below, but be aware of the potential risk. So I'm just placing a short here for an exposure of $240,000. Okay, so I'm short for $240,000 here. And again, be aware of the risk that this might push all the way back again and it might not sell off. Okay, so my plan with this position with the DAX one is we start selling off, we break below maybe 950 and I move stop loss to break even and I just holding it. Okay, so once we're breaking below 950, I'll move stop loss to break even. You know that we start selling off, they dumping the market, and then it kind of like retracing and it's coming back. So you have to have that in mind, that it might push right back and it might come back to 24,000 again. So I'm not moving my stop loss. I'm waiting for it to sell off and then I'll consider moving it, okay, to break even or in profit. So I was expecting this move here in the market. Nothing really surprised me. Nasdaq went to 550 and we might hold here, so it could potentially push back. So I'm not going to do any short positions if we do not break below 500. That's just like a logic round number for me. And I'm not going to do any long position if we do not break above 650. So right here for me is just consolidating. And if DAX choose to get some momentum, and if DAX is going to rally and take me out, I will accept that and I will move on. So it's not a really big issue for me, but I'm also targeting to make a lot of points on this one here. Again, it might not work, but let's see. I'm shorting it based on it breaks below previous lows yesterday. So no progress on either the DAX, Wall Street, any other index. Nasdaq is also pushing. So currently testing if it's going to break below and start selling off. And if it starts selling off, I'm pretty confident it's going to come to 900 pretty quick, and then we can move stop loss, so we just have some profit and we can hold it, and then we can now move on to trading the Nasdaq. Okay, could potentially come back. So just be aware of that. Again, we can always already scale into a positive position, but I don't add to a negative position, okay? And because of Nasdaq is holding quite good, I'm not really doing anything, okay? Let's just look at Nvidia. So Nvidia really pushed up and it's just continuing, okay? What about Apple? Apple is also pushing up, but there is no confirmation really above, so that's why the market is just waiting for that. DAX might hold here and it might not sell off, okay, just so you're aware. Right now it's showing progress to the upside and it's kind of like consolidating. I have a plan today, and if it's not really breaking below 950, 900, then no progress to the downside. Be aware of it could potentially push. So no progress here in the first 6 minutes. It could be a strong sign. It could also be a weak sign. Right now it's holding here at 530. So maybe this is gonna be my day, maybe not, but I have a 20-point stop loss. I'm targeting quite a lot and I'm gonna hold it once I'm just see this start selling off. But again, it could really push up and then I will have to accept that. Let's see if Nasdaq breaks below or if it just keep going up. If Nasdaq breaks below, I'm considering taking a short here as well. So DAX is considering selling off, but it's not doing anything. You shouldn't be moving your stop losses, so you should stop doing that. If you want to be a good trader, you should focus on break below momentum, great price action. So if it's pushing up and you're moving your stop loss, it's so stupid. You should never do that. You should just hold your stop losses. You could move them down, but focus on protecting capital at all costs. So it could stop here at 500 and push back to 600 or even higher, 750, or just keep pushing. So now be careful and be ready to move stop loss, because I have an idea of they're gonna stop it here and then DAX is gonna react and then it might push. But let's see. I'm not really moving anything. I'm just holding it. So it's a small position. So I have an idea of that the market might sell off today, but I could also be wrong. I'm targeting 950 and then I'll move stop loss. Okay. So I'm still short, as you can see, very light short position. But I'm just gonna scale this short position once I gonna break below 950. Support here at 500 is being tested. Do you have any news coming in? We could just check quick. Yeah, it already came in, and that's why it's selling off. But 4 p.m. we have something coming in, else not really any progress so far. But again, I'm holding a short and I'll leave it for that. I'm gonna add another 250,000. If we're gonna break below. But Nasdaq is not really breaking below. Again, be realistic. It already sold off from 800 back to 500. So there's a pretty good chance that things from here is gonna push right back up, takes many stop losses out, and then they dump it later if they really want to it. You could also see here for DAX, it's pushing up. This candle is actually bigger than the past. Let's see if we're breaking above 24,000, and then I will exit my short position for a little loss. Protecting capital, mitigating risk, and that's what I share live. That's also what I share in my program, right, in my system. Focus on cutting losses, protect capital at all costs so you can stay in this game forever, okay? Because with DAX, it's more about having a good setup and then hold on to it. Because if DAX chooses to go down, it's going to continue going down. Same with up. So if you're moving your stop loss, once there's confirmation on the upside, you could move it forever, and it's not how you really should be trading. So we went below 500. Be careful, okay? This could be a fake out. As you can see, DAX is not confirming. It's already down 400 points. This is already down 300 points. So many traders is trying to push the market back. But again, it could also sell below. So if we're selling below 475, I could consider taking a short position. But when DAX is not confirming and Wall Street is not really confirming, if you're looking at Wall Street, it's just been moving up and then a little bit down. So Wall Street is not really breaking below. The S&P 500 is nothing really going on there. And DAX is not really fearful, it's greedy. So if you're looking at 1 hour time frame, you could also see that there is some great support around these round numbers. And of course, if we break below 950, we take this out, of course, there's an opportunity that this might gonna come back to lows, right? Today, tomorrow, maybe Monday. But right now, there's no confirmation. So we shouldn't sit here and speculate. Right now, it's pointing up to our stop loss. Same here. It's also pointing up. So our job is not to avoid the overall risk. Our job is to protect and manage and mitigate the risk, right? And if we get stopped out, fine, no worries. They will maybe try to push the market back to highs for the day, right? So I'll consider doing a long position on the DAX if I see progress on the upside. But if I don't, I'm just gonna hold on to my short. I consider taking a short position as well on the Nasdaq if we are going to break below 475. So this is the first 15 minutes. Let's see if we have a break below. DAX, once DAX confirming, then I'm also going to short the Nasdaq. I'm targeting probably 5-10K today. It's possible. You just need to confirm, and then I can just add to it. And for each position I open, I wait for it to be in profit. I move stop loss to break even, and I add to it. So looks like DAX is about to give us confirmation on the Nasdaq side. I don't want to have a fake out. We don't pass 15 minutes. We could see a push soon. Okay. So I'll move stop loss to break even once we are breaking below 950, okay? Too many beginners, they move stop loss to break even now, and then they get stopped out, and then they go for a long, and then it turns around, and then they closing, and then they go for a short. Like, don't do that. Set a setup, hold it, and wait for it to sell off. So we went below. We are 15 minutes over. I'm allowed to take a trade. I'll start going in for a short position here. Once we're confirming selling pressure below. It's interesting to see Wall Street. It's not really closing below, and Nasdaq is holding quite strong. No close really below. That's why I'm not going short. Again, I'm still short, yes. No progress at all. And now they're testing stop losses again. They might push it now. They're trying to push Nasdaq back, but it's getting rejected. Let's see. It's not really breaking below, it's just pushing up. I'm considering taking a short position and setting a stop loss at 500. So once we break below 69, I'll do a short over here. But because DAX is not breaking below, there is something that the market is aware of. So if DAX chooses to go back, will I just impulsive short this? No, I'm gonna wait for all the indexes to confirm. Wall Street is not really confirming. Wall Street didn't manage to break below lows of 42,000. It's actually pushing, right? So all traders, they go in here, but there might be support here at 450 and it might push back. We keep seeing this, right? It keep pushing back, and there is not really coming that selling pressure that we was expecting. So what do? We don't do anything, right? We focus on not exposing ourselves to the risk of no progress trade. Then we just rather be cash and do something else. Today we have first day, almost a new month. Looking forward to trade June month. Should be excited. Always a record month for me. May been okay. April was a little bit tougher. So no progress. DAX is pushing, Wall Street is holding, Nasdaq is faking out around 450. If we break below, I might consider doing a short. It's not really coming below. So the opening range breakout, if you want to learn that here, and this is below, but it's not really closing with more than 50 points below. So in my opinion, it should close around 420, and then I might consider taking a short. Here it could just push back. And again, no progress. Wall Street, do nothing. S&P 500 showing lower highs, lower lows, but here in the past 5-6 minutes just been choppy, showing actually higher lows. Let's see if we're breaking below. We did not. You can also see that the DAX is actually pushing, right? So then you should not be going short here. Don't hope something will happen, okay? I would say it's very weird we're selling off so much, and then DAX is so strong. So think about that. How is our friend doing? Rheinmetall. Why not just push to 2000 or 2500? A little bit overvalue in my opinion. So I'm not moving stop loss to break even. I'm waiting. It could be a fake out. But again, so they're pushing it back. DAX can smell the hope in the market. They could potentially try to push it back to 50. If this is going to turn around now and breaks below 50, so I could see 49 and I got confirmation on S&P and Wall Street as we're doing right now, I could potentially add to this short here and then same stop loss. But I'm not super sure if I want to do that. We've just been holding here. I mean, you might ask, like, why are you not going short when there's a break below? Okay, I said I go break below, fine, I see that. Right there, break below, 480. It's okay, 20 point stop loss, what do you have to work with? Like, you don't even have like really 60 points, 100 points. Not really, like, I mean, it's not really confirming, and now it's actually pushing here, DAX. So that could be a long opportunity for Nasdaq. I might consider doing a long position here. Thinking about going long. We're holding. We're showing change of patterns. I'm not going in for a long position here. If we break above 86. So I'm gonna go in for a long here. I'm buying it here. I get stopped out here on DAX. So I went long because we have changed of patterns and I have a stop loss in place at 470. So if we do not see a push all the way back, then I just don't want to be in. Let's see. Just moving it a little bit here to see if it's a fake out. It could potentially be a fake out on the long side. Yeah. So the stop loss was what, 70 or 69? I think it was 69. And I will move it back because I don't want to risk more than 20 points. So I'll move stop loss back to 73. Let's see if we're getting a push above or if this is a fake out. Potentially, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more risk here because I'm not so heavy and I have a stop loss just around 450. I'm okay risking 30-40 points here. It's not really working out. There's no push. DAX is not really doing anything. I'm just waiting for it to push. It might get rejected. It might come back here. So on this one here, I'm going to target previous highs of 800, just below 800. It might get rejected at 500 and come back to even lower, okay? So I'm gonna get ready for moving my stop loss. I moved my stop loss to looks very weak. It's actually very choppy today. Wall Street is pushing. S&P 500 is actually pushing quite great. Amazing push. DAX is also confirming. It's showing higher highs, higher lows. No really progress. DAX might stop here and then start selling back again. The same for Nasdaq. Thinking about exit my position, but I'm just gonna hold it for now to see if there's gonna come some progress. It's pretty fun that the market is selling off, get some support again, and then just pushing right back. Once we break above 512, I'll move my stop loss to around break even. So I'll move it to the lower week once we break above, okay? So getting ready to move stop loss to lower week. Nope, it's getting rejected. It starts selling off again. Wow. So that could also be a short sign. That could also be a short sign. Let's see if we bouncing right back again and comes above here. Selling pressure in the house. Just moving stop loss here to see if it's a potential fake out, if it's gonna hold here or if it's gonna close below. Looks like it starts selling off again. Wow. Watch out for fake outs. So market didn't want to go above. Market didn't really want to go above. It was just to maybe take a lot of people out and then they could dump it. But again, they could try to push it right back again. So what do I do when there's no progress, no momentum, and the market is just very tricky? I don't know if it's choppy or if it's difficult, it's not really giving me the signs I was expecting, then normally I'm just exiting my positions and calling it. And I might also do that here. So DAX is also selling off here again. But S&P 500, what are we doing there? Also got rejected. So selling pressure, bounce back, and it looks like it's going to come into a short. So I'm going to exit here. Have my stop loss around lows here. So if we manage to break below here, it might target lows of 21,000. It might also just push back to 400 and then come right back up again. There's two setups. You could hold along back to highs or back to 650. You can move your stop loss below 400. I just have my stop loss at the lower week just to avoid over trading. So still holding, Wall Street is holding. The market is holding okay. Once we break above 510, I'll add to it. So we managed to come above here. Let's see. Looks like it's forming a new support. with higher lows, but let's see if it starts selling off. There's news coming in here, and it might push back very quick to then rally. So we have news, it's gonna come in now. Let's see here, pending home sales. So no progress, but it could really start selling off. I think it could start selling off back to 400 or maybe 350. So I could consider moving my stop loss, just not to get a fake out, and then adding to it. I'm in for a position that I could move up and down. No progress below, no progress above. So what was the news? Why don't we get anything? So that's actually worse than expected. I don't know, let's see how the market's going to react to this one here. It looks very negative. It's keep being below, it just keeps showing selling pressure here. Be aware of, if you go short, that there's a chance, I'm just preparing you, there's a chance it's going to come back to highs for the day. Of course, there's also a chance that it's going to come back to lows for yesterday's, okay? So be aware of both sides and how to avoid and how to position yourself. You do not trade anymore. So if you lose 2 trades, you're just done. Maximum 2 trades per session. It could really start selling off, and if we start seeing selling pressure, then just get out. Lower highs, lower lows, it looks weak for the market. So right now, we currently have from current level back to highs of 1.5%, and we currently have to risk 0.18%. So it's a little bit, it's almost 10R, okay? What's the risk that it's going to come back to 300? It might, but I'm pretty confident it's going to push later if we're still holding here in the next 5-10 minutes after this news. There's nothing that could really like drive the market like lower, in my opinion, if we are holding and we're pushing above. Will it go lower? Yeah, it might just go lower, and that's what we have to factor in, and that's what we have to accept, and we have to work with that risk and just manage the risk correctly. The chances are we're going to sell below back to 300, and DAX is going to follow through, but DAX is actually holding quite good here. I could consider, because I'm going out for a golf game, gonna go play some golf, so I could even consider moving my stop loss down to 300 and hold it, and then maybe lock in while I'm out there, and then add to it if it breaks above 600. But again, there's no really progress on the upside. Downside is just very choppy, and right now we're moving down. But DAX is holding, but keeps getting rejected. So how is Nvidia doing? Selling off a little bit. Apple, Microsoft, no really progress. Where are the market gonna go? Are we gonna go up? Are we gonna go down? Where are we heading? Looks like it's gonna point down. Consider moving my stop loss to 350. consider adding to this one here. So DAX is falling after Wall Street is also, let's see here, if it's gonna sell off more or if it's gonna stop here around 400. It's already down 400 points. It could be a potential fake out. DAX is also selling off now. I'm adding to this long here around 400. Just so you know, this is a risky play, okay? There's no progress, it's just selling off, and DAX is also confirming. Now we went below 400. Currently short, currently long for $500,000. So break below DAX here. Will I follow the hype? Will I get in with everyone else and just short it and hope that this is going to sell back after 40 minutes? I am not. You're more than welcome to personally do that and go for a short, have a stop loss and target lows. It might work, it might be a perfect setup. Let's see if NASDAQ is gonna continue selling off. NASDAQ is not giving us any progress. Let's just keep pointing down. And it might go lower. But this really continue, okay, interesting. Very low volume in my opinion here. But DAX keep going down here. Moving my stop loss down here, I can afford that. Don't do it if this is a risky play. I'm adding to the long here. It's gonna be my last adding. So I have an average open price of 420. Wow, it really took 40 minutes for the market to sell off. Where are we gonna go? They might push it back to 200 or even lower. So beware of the risk. I could consider exiting the ones I just opened. So I'm just gonna do that for no profit, like only like 120 bucks. And then I'm just gonna hold the ones I have with an average price of 450, 440. So I'm not selling into the hype. I'm not saying it cannot sell off. I'm just saying I have to respect that we're around EMA and indeed here is pointing up, right? I know some stocks is pointing down and some stocks is pointing up, and I know NASDAQ might sell even lower and it might turn red soon. So I respect that and I understand the risk, okay? So lower highs, lower lows on NASDAQ. Things is also selling off for DAX. Progress below. Could consider even shorting the DAX, but I am not going to do that for now. I want to see if we're going to hold here at 350 and push back. So currently long for $500,000 and I'm just holding it here. Stop loss 300 and I'm targeting today's highs. So this is the setup. Very straightforward, okay? I'm not gonna stream more live. This is my setup. It might sell off, so focus on cutting losses. If you are too heavy exposed, you shouldn't be. But yeah. So currently down on this one here. Everyone I know is buying in here, are selling short, and they hoping this is going to be the day, and then they're just pushing it back because they can. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. Right now it's just pointing down, but I'm just saying be aware of the risk, okay? So I'll tune out now. I'm still long, having my stop loss in place. It might not work out, but let's see, okay? Once we break above 500 and I see progress above, I'll move my stop loss on that one to break even. Once we're breaking above 600, I'll move my stop losses to both 500. But this is a best case scenario because right now, as you can see, the market is pointing down and there is no progress on the upside. So I'm tuning out. I'll say thank you for now and I'll see you tomorrow morning. So no progress so far. Would have been a great idea to go short. Yeah, it might, but I just don't like the risk to reward. I'm just too afraid that the market might push back. But right now it's just selling off steadily and it's not really choosing to go up. So that's also a weak sign for the market, okay? I choose to do this, and do not copy me if you do not get the risk, okay? Again, if you're not a member yet of the Telegram, then is the link here in the description. You could join for free, 100% for free if you're using a TD365 broker. I don't want any sketchy traders, any people thinking they could turn $500 into even thousands of millions of dollars. Is not possible, okay? So this is only for serious traders that want to take part. And yes, I could be right. Yes, I could be wrong. Right now I'm losing to 2,000. I think I have like 3,500 max I'm gonna lose, and I could tell you what I'm gonna target in this one here. I'm targeting around 10K for the day. I'm risking around 3K. So we've been showing some support around here. Let's see if it's gonna turn around. I'll let you know if I close the position, stopped out, or if I get filled for profit, okay? Thank you.